Right, so I've made a deposit of $2,000 with FanDuel. The only line that I love with FanDuel is right here. Let me show it to you, maybe bigger. 150%. Oops, sorry. Alright, so the Titans, as you can see, FanDuel has the over at minus 140, whereas Pinnacle and Bookmaker are telling us that the over should be at much weaker odds. In fact, we have an arbitrage opportunity with both bookies. So FanDuel and PointsBet actually have great odds on this market. So I will go ahead. I checked the lines before making the deposit. It was the same as yesterday. So this will be my first bet ever with FanDuel. Let's go to the NFL. The win totals. Tennessee Titans over 5.5 at minus 140. And here's the critical moment. Are they going to accept a bet of $2,000? Let's find out. Yes, it has worked. Attaboy. Alright, so that was quite stressful. Like I said, the biggest number of value wagers right now is on DraftKings, and my deposit attempts kept being declined. I tried with PayPal, I tried with Interact Transfer, spoke to a customer service agent for a while. She could not figure out what the problem was, and ultimately I just tried to log out of my account. I logged back in, and all of a sudden it all worked. So I was able to deposit $5,000 via PayPal, so now it's time to place some bets. I will get started with the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me show you the lines. So over or under 11.5 wins. You can see here the lines with Pinnacle and Bookmaker. They are both telling us that there's a 50-50 chance that the over or the under will hit. Whereas DraftKings has a line of plus 125 on the over, which is a bargain. It's also available if you are from the province of Quebec. It's available with mise au jeu. Yesterday I placed a max bet of $500. That's the most that you can bet with mise au jeu, by the way. So I will go ahead and bet, I think $1,500 if the line is still available, of course. Let's go under win totals. Right here. So the Eagles. Yes, it's still available. 11.5 plus 125. Let's verify again that with Pinnacle, the line is right here. You can see that the over and the under are have the same lines approximately. And same with Bookmaker normally. 11.5 minus 108 minus 108. So that's a great bargain. So let's go with $1,500. All right, and here comes my first DraftKings bet ever. Yes, it worked. All right, now up next, I'll attack the San Francisco 49ers. Let me show you the lines. Again, take a look at the lines from Pinnacle. They are both saying that the over should be around minus 125, whereas the under is at plus 105 or plus 110. And DraftKings has it backwards, so the over is at plus 105, which is great. You also have a good line of plus 100 with Bally, BetRivers, and Unibet, by the way. So I'm going to go with $2,000 on San Francisco at plus 105. Right here. All right, so $2,000 for a payout of $4,100. Let's go. It's done. All right. Now I have $1,500 left. Ideally, I want to bet even much more than this, but we're going to start with that. Let's go with the Detroit Lions. Let me show you the lines on the Lions. So DraftKings has plus 140 odds on the over 10.5 wins, whereas the under with Pinnacle and Bookmaker is around minus 130. So we have an arbitrage opportunity, and that's always a good sign that you should bet the bookie that disagrees with Pinnacle and Bookmaker. Let's make sure that the things have not changed. Detroit, right here, minus 129 on the under. Detroit with bookmaker, 10.5. Yeah, so we really have a bargain on the Lions. So let's throw the final 1,500 on that. Plus 140 odds. For a return of $3,600. Let's go. It's done. All right, now let me see if I can make another deposit to bet even more. All right, what's up, guys? So I had to leave the restaurant where I was staying because there was nowhere I could plug my laptop. So now I've moved to a coffee shop, and I just made an additional deposit of $9,000 with DraftKings. Now my plan is to add 2 more grand on each of the 3 bets I've already made because they are the 3 best ones on the Eagles, the Lions, and the Niners. And then I will tell you what I'm going to do next. So let's start by betting again on the Eagles over 11.5 at plus 125. I've already risked $2,000 on them. I'll do that once more. Done. Up next, the Lions. So we're going to take over 10.5 at plus 140, which is a bargain. $1,000 again. Done. Finally, the 49ers over 10.5 at plus 105, whereas Pinnacle and Bookmaker are telling us that the over should be favorite. That's done as well. All right. Let's make sure everything is okay by looking at my bets. So we have the Niners 2,000, Lions, Eagles, Lions, or Niners and Eagles. All right. Now up next, and let me show you the current odds. I want to attack the New England Patriots under. Everybody is excited about their outlook for this year. Maybe they're being too excited. Look at this. Pinnacle and Bookmaker, they are telling you that the over is a slight favorite, whereas you can bet the under with DraftKings at plus 150 odds, which is a bargain. And by the way, if you have an account with MGM, it's plus 145, which is great also. Let's make sure the line has not moved with Pinnacle and Bookmaker first. New England, it's pretty much the same. Yeah, so the under 7.5 at plus 150 is incredible. So let's bet $2,000 on that. Patriots under 7.5 wins $2,000 for a return, a potential payout of $5,000. Done. And now I only have 1,000 left, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I'll go with the Carolina Hurricanes, whose line, Carolina Panthers, wrong sport, where the ROI is plus 8.4% on the under. All right. So right here, you can see that Pinnacle and Bookmaker are indicating that the under 6.5 should be a slight favorite, while DraftKings, Caesars, and even MGM have great lines. So let's go with under 6.5 at plus 110. 6.5 at plus 110 for the remaining $1,000. Done. Right, I've made another deposit of $8,500 with DraftKings, and up first I will attack the Bengals over. Again, Pinnacle and Bookmaker are indicating the over is the favorite, whereas DraftKings has minus 105. So if you do the math, the return on investment is 5.2%. So I'm going to bet 2 grand on that. So over 9.5 wins at minus 105. Right, let's look for the win totals. Bengals over 9.5 at minus 105. Put 2 grand for a payout of 3,900 approximately. Done. Next, let's go with the Indianapolis Colts. Right, let me show you the current lines. The Colts. In this case, I want to bet over 6.5 at minus 145. And as you can see, bookmaker has minus 220 on the over. Even if you look at the MGM odds, they are also saying that DraftKings has a wrong line here. So over 6.5 wins by the Colts at minus 145. Right here, $2,000 on that as well. Done. Now 2 more grand on the Bucks under. Let me show you the status. Tampa Bay Bucks. This is a case where Pinnacle and Bookmaker believe that the under is a small favorite, whereas DraftKings has plus 100 odds. As you can see, nobody else has a line that's as good. MGM is close though. So Bucks under 9.5 at plus 100. 9.5 at plus 100. In this case, the return on investment is 5.6%. So $2,000 for a return of 4,000. All right, now and up next, so I have 2,500 left. I'm going to split it among 2 bets that I've already made. First on the Carolina Panthers, under 6.5 wins, plus 110 that I've wagered previously. I'm going to add 1,500 on that. And that's it. And I want to add 1 grand on the Patriots. This time we are taking under 7.5 at plus 150, which is great value. It has a ROI of plus 10.0% actually. So here's my last $1,000 here, and I will think about whether I want to add more in the next minutes. All right, up next, we want to bet the Houston Texans under 9.5. Right now, Bally has the best line, which is minus 121. And you can see that Pinnacle and Bookmaker have a line that is much, much lower than that. You have a big arbitrage opportunity. That's a sign that we have a great bargain here on the under. I want to try to bet $4,000 on that. I'm not sure if they will let me do it though. So let's go to futures. Houston Texans market. So we want under 7.5 wins at minus 121. Under 9.5 wins, sorry. Yeah, that's right. Let's see what happens if I try to bet $4,000 on that. Now that really pisses me off. Bally only accepted a maximum of 969.52 cents, which is a weird amount. I tried to bet 4,000 and that's the only amount that they have accepted. So I probably deposited too much with that bookie because there's only one more line I want to attack here, and it is the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore. Right. Let me show you what the good bet is here. Baltimore over 11.5 wins at minus 115 odds, whereas Pinnacle and Bookmaker are showing they should be much bigger favorites. Let me verify that Pinnacle has not changed its mind. Yeah, really a great bet. So let's go ahead and try. I'll try to bet like, I don't know, 2,500. They probably won't let me do it. Let's give it a shot. There's only a pre-approved wager of 924. Yeah, I'm going to try it, but there's no reason why they're going to accept. Now this is pretty annoying because I've spent too much money. And since I live in the province of Quebec, I won't be able to place any more bets unless I come back to Ontario. But that's the risk I was taking by doing this. and you don't know in advance what the betting limit will be. So, right. Oh, oh wow, maybe I gave up too soon because they seem to have accepted my bet. Let me refresh my browser to confirm that the bet went through. Oh yeah, nice. All right, so it's not as bad as I first thought because now I have $1,500 left as a balance remaining. All right, let me try something that is unlikely to work, but I've got nothing to lose. I'll try to make another bet on the Texans. Earlier, they accepted a wager of around $900, but they would not accept a bigger bet. So I'll try to add another 900 just to see what happens. No, I guess even 700 won't work. No, all right, but there's nothing I can do here. Well, I tried. All right, so that's it for my bet today. So in total, I have bet 11 teams in the NFL on their number of wins for the 2025 season for a total of $29,000. And I'm going to do more accurate calculations, but I feel like my return on investment is around 10%. So I can expect to earn a profit of 2,500 to 3,000 maybe. Now, of course, maybe I will be unlucky and I will end up losing $5,000 in total. Maybe I will win more. Maybe I will win $5,000, $6,000. Who knows? But the goal is to make smart wagers repeatedly, and in the long run, you are guaranteed to make a profit. I'm really tired and now I need to go back home and drive 4 more hours. Hopefully, I will be in time for the first NFL game of the season between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Thanks so much for following this betting adventure. Let me know in the comments what you think about those bets, about my method, or what bets you made, anything else. I'm interested to read your own comments. So I'm Professor MJ. Thanks for watching, my friend.